down with your broke ass.
Guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. So, you guys doing a lot of snitching, and y'all went and got my site.
Answer, because you are that. Answer, because you are that. You are capable. You are gifted, and you are so unique. All of the things that you may hate about yourself are your strengths. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be you. The world awaits to receive you.
Uh-oh. Blessings. Sorry, I had to be my own producer real quick. Let me get myself together. I am running super late. It was one of those days I had a lot going on, and then y'all know what happened. I got tired. I was talking to my daughter. She was like, "You ain't start your live? You must be sleepy." I was like, "Yeah, I had to take a little nap." I hope you guys are having a great Friday. We switch it up. We're going to switch it up just a little bit. I hope you want to chill, because it seemed like this live is going to be a little bit long, not long-winded, not by my by me wanting to, but I do want to get down and into the facts. So we're going to talk a little bit about Thornton, a little bit about Dalton, Henyard, and Mr. Mayor Clark. But before we do anything, we want to put some good stuff on the screen. Please hit the like button. We have some updates for next week as well. I hope I can pull this up real quick. We want to show you some good stuff. What's happening in Thornton? It really brought a smile to my face. All right, because when Tiffany was doing it, it kind of brought a disdain. He didn't want to see it. So yesterday they had their first bingo, and this was a picture of who was running the bingo yesterday.
066. B8. Congratulations.
So shout out to Mama Mary, who's up there shaking it up with the seniors and all of my residents that's out there loving on each other, getting those modest but good gifts. I heard the gifts were modest but usable, so I liked it. It really made me smile. And look at this, y'all. Look at this thing is getting down. I'll take this copyright. Look at my man right here. Keep it moving, y'all. I love to see it. Please keep the seniors moving. And I was also told that the bingo is open to the general public, not just the seniors. So that is a plus, because hopefully you'll start to get people intertwined into some of the activities, get them into what's going on in the community, a little bit of politics, a little bit of government, maybe get that 85% up in there voting. So this was a update. Okay, so Thornton, we're going to get back to Thornton as far as I'm going to name some things as far as what I saw in the Thornton meeting. Again, today we're going to go over the Robert Rules of Order. I did pull that up so we can look at it. Now, I don't know if it's the direct one that they use in Thornton Township and Dolton, but we do have an example. All right, but before we get to that, let's put Henyard on the screen. Drinking a lot of juice. I'm feeling all bloated. I think it was water.
It is over.
All right, so Tiffany has got herself in the news. Tiffany could be jailed if she doesn't show up for court Friday, and I would assume that was today. So we have an update on that, and I'm going to give y'all my honest opinion on this story.
Former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is expected in court today for failing to produce records in a lawsuit against her in the village. It is over documents she has not handed over as part of a Freedom of Information Act request. A judge previously said Henyard could be fined $1,000 a day if she doesn't give the documents to the plaintiff's lawyer. If Henyard doesn't show up to court today, she could be thrown in jail.
All right, so
He's been identified.
What I wanted to do was look at the old filing of what he was looking for, because I'm a little confused of to why they're still seeking for Henyard to come in. I'm just going to be honest, because she is not the Freedom of Information Officer, or she's not the mayor right now. But I do know that the findings previously is that they sided with Edgar Watchdog, as well as we did hear previously that they were looking to do like a settlement or something, right? Y'all remember? So I don't even know why is it this far at this point, or do the news need something to talk about? I'm just a little confused. But this was the finding of the whole filing. So we're just going to get to that because this is a 7-page document and we have a long broadcast to get through. So findings and conclusion: after fully examining and giving full consideration to the information submitted by the Public Access Counselor Review and the applicable law attorney, general findings on November 29th, 2023, Mr. Andrews Scooter, on behalf of WGN TV, submitted a Freedom of Information request to the Village of Dalton seeking copies of records showing payments, showing payments made to the Village of Dolton that leased of the mayor village vehicle, so that he wanted the lease information and monthly credit card statements from June 1st, 2023, and to the date of the request, as of to the date of the request on December 15th, 2023. Mr. Scooter, I may be saying his name wrong, submitted the document. The documents requested to file a request to review. So this is when he sent it to Public Access Counselor to review, that the village had not responded. All right. So then his request for review was timely filed. We know that. So that's why they moved forward. On December 27, 2023, Public Access Bureau forwarded a copy. This is the steps, basically. And this is something that we're going through right now. So let me just break it down to you. You put a Freedom of Information request in. They have 5 days usually. I give them 5. I usually give them about 5 to 14 days, just being flexible, but it's 5 days, business days. And usually what I would do is make another correspondence to see if they got it. And if they don't respond, then the next step is to forward it to the Public Access Bureau. This is the mandatory steps that you have to do before you can file a lawsuit. They have to make the determination if whatever the party you're requesting your information from is withholding it lawfully, responded lawfully, or whatever may be the situation. Even if it's redacted, you want them to look at it, or they're giving you partial, things like that. So I'm going back and forth with the Public Access counselors, and they're pretty good people. Those were the people that I was telling you a while ago. They basically said, well, we know who you are, and we've been trying to get in contact with the Illinois State Police. They're very hard to get in contact with, and they told me I was the only one that had issues with them. And they started talking about, the transition of Dolton, what was going on there. And, just for me to be mindful. And I was like, yes, I do know, one of the people that's sharing information. So they work pretty hard. The Public Access Bureau counselors, just to give a shout out to them. We'll be giving you an update on some of our cases that's on hold with them on Tuesday. Okay, because today we were supposed to, look, I had something black on my lip. Today we were supposed to do the Hopsons, but because other stuff is going on, I said, let me just get it while the block is hot. Let's do a little deep dive on all 3. And then we'll do Hopsons on Tuesday. I'm saying Monday or Tuesday because I want to go into new Supreme Court findings and a little bit more details into the case, okay? Just how we break it down, because as we talk about the Alexis case, we disclose more and more. So basically, with this public access finding, I believe he was waiting to see what was the outcome from the Public Access Bureau so he can move forward with the lawsuit. So that's where we're at. But to my understanding, they were already addressing this particular issue. And that's why I'm confused because the things that they're asking for are things that should be available through the finance office in Dolton and not typically Henyard. So I'm going to be honest, just to give you my opinion. I think that this was just kind of something to talk about, something to put Tiffany name inside of the air, because this is an update from Kurt. Because I know they're not going to lock her up. Come on, they ain't lock her up for the possible misappropriation of funds yet. They're going to lock her up for this. And she not the mayor no more. So let's just watch what Kurt had to say. This was 3 hours.
Don't know how many saw the court hearing. So there is no arrest warrant issued for Tiffany. She managed to go in by Zoom. She said, well, someone trying to represent her, who's representing her in other cases, who also did not file an appearance, stated that she was out of town but here on Zoom. Now, I've got word that she was in town on Tuesday. Where the hell she's at, don't know. I think she's full of shit.
Yeah.
If anyone sees her, particularly today, snap a goddamn picture of that bitch. I think the only people that believed her was the judge. It's amazing what you can do on Zoom. Hell, I can say I'm in fucking Cleveland right now. She is being fined $1,000 a day until she produces the records. Next court date is next Friday, and I think that is 2 o'clock. And if the judge finds that basically Tiffany's got to A, show up in person, and B, produce the records, then she will not be fined $1,000. Of course, since she wasn't here, Kamal's not here, so I got to go hunting for his bitch ass. Now, Tiffany also said that she was not served. She said that on the Zoom. That's a bunch of goddamn bullshit. She was legally served. I'm going to leave it at that. And her father called her afterwards, after he saw the papers. There is no fucking way she could say she wasn't served. No, she was served. I believe there's going to be another set of documents, so I'll get to go down and hang out with her dad again. He's actually a nice guy. I got nothing against her or anyone else in the family for that matter. Her dad's cool, but that's where we stand. So whoever, I know with the betting pools, whoever had Tiffany going in by Zoom, you're the winners. And after being told a couple of times that she had to be in court in person, she actually had the gall to ask, oh, can I come in on Zoom? Nah, fuck that. Judge said, no, you've got to come in because you're going to be sworn and you're going to testify. So we'll see what happens. But again, anybody sees her anywhere in Dalton, get pictures and get them over to me because I'm going to hang this bitch. Peace out.
Okay, that was heavy. Now, one of the things I'm just going to say, in my opinion, I think the action is brought towards the town. I think it's brought towards the village of Dolton. We know Tiffany was hindering things up and threatening people, the Southside MO. But when it comes to operating in your capacity, she was operating in a capacity as a mayor at that time. And I know it's corresponds allegedly within his filings that pulls Keith Freeman in it as well, because it says, having received no response on December 14, 2023, Mr. Scoot sent an email forwarding November 29th request to Keith Freeman, the village administrator, and a copy to the village clerk Keys. Mr. Delgado and the property attorney in capacity, requesting these documents. Now, mind you, what he's requesting is a copy of documents totaling the amount that Tiffany got paid in 2023, a copy of the current lease of Mayor Henyard's village vehicle, and a copy of monthly statements of any and all village credit cards from June 2023 to present. Now, let me just say what's my opinion, especially dealing with these freedom of information requests and kind of making leeway. One of the first things I would do was pull Henyard out of the lawsuit and make it directly towards the freedom of information officers and whoever's acting in the capacity. Now, if they're going to be witness to the offense or the things that happen throughout the proceedings, if it goes that far, yeah, that makes sense. But as far as her, and now she's saying that she did not get served. My opinion to Kurt is to pull her out of it so she don't have to get served, and it's not a whole bunch of hokey pokey. If you really want these documents, the next thing that I will say is what I have done is make supplemental requests to adjacent requests that has not been responded to, and that's not Dalton. That's actually Illinois State Police. Like for instance. His request that I'm going to put up there, I'm just going to show you, is full and is voluminous. So yeah, I've been down there. I've been watching and I've been creeping. One thing that I'm going to do, I ain't going to lose. If I know I make a mistake or if they got something that can hold me, I'm going to be the one that try to work around it and do things correctly. So here, what I have learned, hold on one second. Let me just make sure I got everything. Okay, what I have learned with this right here, with the request, a copy of monthly statements from any and all village credit cards from June 1st, 2023 to 2000 present. They can squash that. They can say that that's too voluminous and that basically he has to be more specified in his request. That's just like when I made a request for the full report of Alexis investigation, and they said, oh, it's this amount of documents and this amount of videos and it's too voluminous after a while of not responding. So I made modifications and they still shucking and jiving, but that gives the case more merit to show, one, that you tried to specify what you want, breaking it down. Because usually I don't go above a year or two when I'm asking for documents. I'm not going to say for 10 years. I'm going to break it down in smaller frames so they won't have the ability to say that it's too voluminous. So that's kind of my opinion on just saying any and all. That's one of the things that I learned. Don't use any and all in your freedom of information requests. Don't. You can say documents related to or things like that, but the any and all, just try to work around that because that gives them more room to deny it. A copy of the current lease of Mayor Henyard's village vehicle. So what I would do to work around that is, I would focus on vehicles or reimbursement paid to government officials between this time and this time. And if that doesn't encompass Mayor Henyard vehicle, then I'll do what I did, and what I'm waiting on is the enterprise contract and what vehicles they lease, that type of stuff. Okay. So it's ways that he can modify it. I think I'm just kind of throwing that out there to kind of possibly before made it move a little faster and receive something. And as I say, to stop all this running around allegedly now in the court matter, is to pull Henyard out of it. Because now it's all just shucking and jiving. Now it's literally just, we hate Henyard, like it's a hate train. And when you're going after somebody in their private capacity, that's when it can turn into stalking and shit like that. And not saying to serve someone and look for them is stalking, but I'm just talking about other people. When she's outside of this capacity of a mayor, you have more liability on you when you reporting like frivolous shit. I'm just being honest. That's why I'm not beat for Henyard. I'm beat for the facts. As I've always been beat on exposing what happened, who did it, and how it happened. Yeah, see, I don't really talk about Henyard too much because she's not the object of my reflections. It was the actions. It was the actions for me. You see what I'm saying? So again, just to close out, I think he said copy of documents sufficient to show the total payments to Tiffany Henyard in 2023. That also can be hard to determine because she made a lot of payments, maybe through her to other people. So it can say related to her compensation, related to any contracts that she directly initiated. Does that make sense? So I just kind of wanted to go over that with you guys. I pray that his proceedings goes forward. And now it sounds like I don't even understand if she showed up for court via Zoom. How could she say that she was not notified, but you knew you had to go to Zoom? So that's where we talk about the South Side connections, dog. Because the judge should have said, no, you got notice, you're here, the proceedings are moving forward. But it didn't happen because they want to keep on shucking and jiving, giving the lawyer a little bit more money. So shout out to you, Kurt and Edgar Watchdog, that's still pursuing this. But at the end of the day, some of that information about the credit cards was actually on Dolton Politics too. Y'all know I've been hunting, pulling shit together. You know, I'm trying to go the path of least resistance, that I don't have to be filing lawsuits against people. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't want it to go that far, because that could take up to years. But you know what it is. So hold on, what is this? This is Supreme Court rules process. Hold on one second. Let me just see if this is part of today's broadcast. Okay, no, that is for a Tuesday broadcast about the Supreme Court. So what did I do? I said I wanted to talk about the Thornton party, the good party. I also wanted to talk about the Edgar Allen and Tiffany not going to jail, y'all. Don't even y'all better leave that lady alone. She is embarrassed. She lost a life. She lost the dignity. Just let her gain her weight. And Kamal is still there, allegedly. Now, I didn't say anything about that Atlanta thing. Shout out to the Levi family, and shout out to everybody keeping y'all foot on Henyard's neck. I didn't say anything about the Atlanta thing because I need a video. I need a little bit more. I can't take a picture and just like, oh, she was out here, you know. I'm like, get that lady a break. She out here with the goons and the crackheads, because ain't nothing out here special for her. Please. Shout out to you, Mr. Roberts. I'm about to read your comment. I'm so proud of you. I want to sing. Good evening, Grace. I hope that Dalton OIA officer Clerk Keys can tell the judge that Tiffany and Keith Freeman prevented her from doing her job. Yes, and that's what I said. They can still be witness to it, but she don't have to be the party of interest, because that's what's slowing down his case. But as I mentioned, and I know y'all remember that they said that they were looking to settle the case, and that was prior. So we'll keep our eye on that. I just knew she wasn't going to jail. They needed to jail her for misappropriated funds. So actually, it's great that you hear Mr. Roberts. I know you probably don't watch this whole thing, but I'm going to try to go over Mayor Harvey's interview with Jedediah. It was long-winded. I was like, damn, this is long. But there's some it's some key parts that I want to go over, because I think that one, his shucking and jiving, his split tongue, his appropriate talking can confuse people. Even when he was talking to you, Mr. Roberts, and you mentioned about is he going to be basically taxing churches? And he was like, I don't tax churches and things like that. And he flipped it on basically their churches needing things done like they were unsafe, pulling the same ammo that Henyard pulled on the Fresh Mark. You know how we do. But there was allegedly business fees of $20,000 that we showed. Y'all should have brought that up. I'm telling y'all, don't let no snake like that sidetrack y'all. Take y'all notebook, write it down, and when he finished talking, get right back to it. Be like, well, the news said it's a $20,000 fine, sir, and that's why he wanted to get off with Ryan, because Ryan came back with the 52 fake out. It was like, ain't the clerk under you? So you did a great job highlighting the fact that he is taxing and trying to pay that big old debt off through the people. We really need to figure out how did that debt come apart, so we'll come together. And how can I say pull the whole system apart? Let's say that the right way. What I did happen to find just before we get into the interview, I did a little creeping. Now, this was 2021. This was a certified public accountant annual financial report for the city of Harvey. I didn't get to look at it yet, but if you want to, Mr. Robinson, I know you deal with Thornton. I can send it to you, and whoever needed, they can look at it. It's 135 pages. I don't know if this is the most up to date thing that we can find when it comes to finances, but you know how we do. We start from the bottom and we work our way to the top. So after or about the time that I do Thornton Township 2.0, well, it is Thornton Township. How can I say Lightfoot Report 2.0? Because there's some things that we really need to highlight too with Thornton Township. We're gonna go over this. I found something, y'all. Y'all know I be creeping. Mayor Clark done messed up. Yeah, you can't con me. But what I do want to say is what you did, Mr. Roberts, as well as Mr. Lee, by asking for the audit, being consistent. I'm going to be honest, not being afraid. As I mentioned in my last live and a few other live, I really learned a lot from the residents. And it was sometimes certain actions was hard for me to digest. But once I learned what type of system you guys was in, and the feeling that I had that I felt was right, that I had to creep up there to make sure I was safe. Imagine living up there. And it's not to say that everything is horrible, but there's an underlying tone that you have to get down to stay down up there. So when you have somebody just ready to speak the truth, hold people to the fire, I really have to honor that. All right. So shout out to you, Mr. Roberts, because we don't want no dictatorship. I'm with you, dog. He said when I asked him if the church had to pay for another 650 license, he couldn't answer, but asked to meet me offline. Exactly. I was a little confused about that. Like, why we gotta meet? Like, first and foremost, you don't even look like you could be trusted. Y'all, before we start to look at this, I'm gonna have to show y'all this. Y'all gonna say I'm not tripping. I'm gonna put a picture of him up. Y'all gotta see his face.
If you've been trying to lose,
all right. Who there? Like, this is what threw me off. Like, why he kept saying, "Oh, well, we can meet and we can talk about it," because at this point, there's really nothing to talk about. A lot of the same issues that Dalton had and Thornton is exactly what's going on in Harvey, but to the 10th power. Look at him. Look at this. All right, y'all. Look at this face now. Look at it. Now look at this. I'm about to type something. Hold on. Y'all gonna crack up. Okay. Hold up. I think this is what it's called. Hold on. Don't beat me, because this thing looked just like him. This picture I'm about to show y'all. Y'all gonna be like, what? Grace, where the heck did you find this at? Here we go. All right. Y'all gonna be like, she tripping. All right, look at this. Do y'all think he have this disorder? Do you think that Mayor Clark got this disorder allegedly, but it's not? It's actually demon time. Look at this. They stopped talking about this, y'all. I just got a sidetrack. I thought it was gonna get a little long. Rare disorder, making people think they're seeing demonic faces like a creature in a horror movie. Now, this is just one example of it. A rare disorder. This started around 2023, 24 after the COVID. So it's called forsomorphophysics. I'm saying that totally wrong. The disorder causes people's face to appear grossly stretched out in a demon-like way. Rare disorder. Okay. For the first time, scientists were able to use computer software to illustrate how this disorder distorted people's faces. The recent diagnosed patient says he hopes his case will help others with disorders who are often diagnosed as mentally ill. A rare disorder making people think they're seeing demon-like faces everywhere, with people's eyes and mouths stretched out, ears pointed, and deep groove carved into their faces. Now, this is just one example. I know this is a little extreme, y'all, But when I saw let's put Clark back on the screen, I said, oh snap. Do Clark got demon syndrome? Because he looked just like that. Am I tripping? Am I tripping, y'all? All right. So I just put y'all up on something new. Demon syndrome. People don't talk about this. This is something really scientists has considered a disorder. And I think that this is something that this man has. So what we're going to do is get a little bit to this interview. And the main part that I want to get into is when he talks about the alder woman and some of the things of what she was doing, how it was out of order. And when he gets into that part, we're going to get into Robert Rules of Order. So let's just get it there. Demon disorder. Hit the like button. Oh, also I want to say shout out. I got to say shout out to Jedediah because this is his interview. This is Jedediah interview. Anything that I say, as I mentioned, is going to be about the subject matter, not about the host, but we're going to have to depict some things. So get in the audience because I know there were some more things that y'all wanted to say last night that y'all didn't get a chance to. Y'all got to listen to this man.
The advocate that is known for shaking things up. I want to start right there.
To me, it's very simple. One is either you can teach somebody something or you can learn something. There were some things that I thought that I may have known about you that I didn't know, or may have mistook, you know what I'm saying? And I also believe that there were some things that you may have known about me. And the best way that you get through it is you have a conversation. You ask the questions, and the questions may be hard, they may be difficult, but you can get something out of it. So when I saw you, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Don't run away from it. Let's have the conversation and see what we get. And here we are today.
And I think that is phenomenal. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into a full-fledged conversation with the mayor, I want you all to understand that I have never in my entire 2 decades of advocating had a mayor that we've confronted say, okay, let's face this. And I have always had to fight. So at the very least, I ask our audience to let's see what the mayor has to say. Again, thank you for being here, Mr. Christopher Clark. And I guess I'm gonna just jump into it so I don't have you here all night. I don't know how much time you got. But
how much you want me to have, brother?
You've gotten some controversy surrounding you. What is going on in the city of Harvey?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, everything is great in the city of Harvey. We're moving from a place where we were the laughing stock of the Southland and sometimes the United States of America. We came from 16 years of bad leadership that ran us into $164 million worth of debt. We're seeing our police department improve drastically. Prior to me getting in, our police department had been raided twice by the federal government and once by the state. We had several of our officers either get convicted and or do time in prison. It was not a good.
All right, y'all. Dalton, keep it in mind, baby. I'm just playing, y'all. But that's serious business.
Look for the city. We were also known as the strip capital of the Southland because we seem to have as many gentlemen's clubs as we had. Seems like we had churches going throughout the city. So as far as I'm concerned,
you go from laughing to getting serious, and mind you, he grew up in all of that. So just keep that in mind. That's what he grew up in.
And I've lived here for 55 years. I've known 4 mayors, 3 I've known very well, and I've had an opportunity to see the city at its highest height, and now where we are now. But we are making a comeback. We're bringing in businesses. We have investment. Over the previous 4 years, my previous term.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having.
We brought in over $300 million worth of investments to the city. We're repairing streets, fixing sidewalks, improving the fire department and the police department. Just got a new fire truck, which those things cost $500,000, thanks to Robin Kelly. So I'm gonna give that one to her because it's not as if we had the money to do it. A lot of what we've been doing has been because people have been so generous enough to help us through our federal and county and state partners that we're able to get work done. So I think it's great. I just think what happens is, you see hiccups every now and then, and because whether you call them politicians, which I use that word loosely, but politicians, government leaders, or whatever it is, the expectation is that when we work, everything must be perfect. We must be perfect. And so we're held at such a high standard that when you don't see that perfection, then all of a sudden people are like, ooh, what happened? That type of thing. But it's par for the course.
We don't hold politicians to perfection, so don't let him gaslight you. We just try to hold them to some accord. Usually what happens is they get in on some running point, and then they get lobbied and they never do what they said they were going to do for the people. So that's usually what I see, but maybe y'all see something different.
We just keep doing the work and keep making it happen.
So that sounds like you're saying that Harvey is on the upswing, but you have people who disagree. And so one of the things that people are talking a lot about is the way you conduct your meetings, and they feel that they're a little dictator-like or tyrannical. Could you help us understand the culture that you're trying to set for your city council meetings, and why does it seem like clapping and coughing or anything of that can get you ejected or in trouble in the city of Harvey?
Well, we've never put anybody out for coughing, at least that I know of. But look, I think when people are looking from the outside, speaking of coughing, hold on, because I had to get some water myself. Excuse me.
I see. We warming up. Okay.
But when people, I think first thing that happens is that people don't know from whence we came. Like I said, I had an opportunity to know 4 mayors and 3 very well. I've been going to city council meetings since I was 8 years old. And so I've seen a variety of things. First things first, I think that people need to understand, but wait, before I get there. And so now when people are looking at it from the outside looking in, they don't know where we were. So they're saying, oh my God, what's going on here? So let me tell you where we were and what was happening.
Give us context.
So first of all, once again, the city council meetings, unfortunately, like some others in our area, was just basically off the chain. There was no order, there was no decorum, there was nothing like that. And I still am and have always considered myself and know that I am a Black man in a town that's full of Black people. And so one of the things that has always been perceived as far as Black people running a government is that we can't govern ourselves. We don't know how to follow rules. We don't know decorum. We don't know civility. We don't know all of those things. And so I spent, prior to becoming mayor, I was an alderman. I spent time during an alderman watching how dysfunctional we were. Prior to that, our residents used to say that the only thing that happened at the city council meetings was that we argued all day and that we didn't get any business done. The city council meeting is a business meeting. It's the place where you're supposed to get business done for the city. So you have a chair. In this case, the mayor is the chair, which happens to me, but there were other mayors who were chairs. And might I add, when I was an alderman, I did not get out of order. Even though I wasn't necessarily in agreement with the previous mayor, I still didn't get out of order. So you still have to respect the decorum, and you have to respect the seat, even if you don't necessarily agree with or like the person who's in the seat. So we would go through, like I said, so many problems as far as our council meetings were concerned, that once we got an opportunity and I was in the position, I said to myself, okay, you know what, we're going to try to do it the right way. We're going to try to follow those rules. And that's what we're trying to do. But we're growing and we're evolving and we're learning.
We're going to try to follow those rules. And he's not following those rules. He's still not getting to why people can't clap, because that won't be a disturbance to the meeting. If someone agrees with something that happens, maybe they like what they vote on, they do a little clap. That has nothing to do with decorum. Now, if it was like, everyone just yelling and screaming throughout the whole thing, that's understandable. There have got times where in the Dolton meeting, it got a little funky, got a little wild. But for the most part, the only reason that it was long-winded and delayed, it really wasn't the residents. It was literally them arguing with each other. So there's ways that we're going to show you through Robert rules that they can handle this. So for him to put it on the residents and say that's one of the reasons, or he still didn't say that's what's the reason why people can't clap, is asinine. And he gives a lot of hot air for this, a lot of these 3 hours. But we're going to try to fast forward and get through the bulk of some of this.
And we don't always get it right, but like I said, the problem happens is when we don't get it right. As far as what has happened recently, we have six alderpersons. Of the 6 alderpersons, 4 of the alderpersons are definitely in agreement with the rules, and those 4 alderpersons are senior alderpersons. And that might be another reason why they're in agreement, because they've had more experience, more knowledge, more background, more exposure. And so at least.
All right. So now that he's talking about the rules, let's just get to it real quick. Robert Rules of Order. This is a flow sheet that I found, and I was kind of trying to figure out how do these motions appear, works. When can people use them and things like that? And this chart that I found is going to help us a little bit. So let me see if I can add this to the stage real quick, because as he said, basically they know better, and maybe Miss Chapman, maybe she don't know what she's doing. Miss Kobe don't know what she's doing, allegedly. So let's learn this together, y'all. So this is the meeting structure. We know the call of order. This is basically a complete Robert Rules of Order cheat sheet made easy, okay? This is Euronet company, IBABS. Okay, so I got another link too. We just gonna compare and contrast, and they kind of pretty much say the same thing. So we know the order of the meeting, the call of order, roll call, reading of approved meetings, report of the officers, report of committee, standards of order of business, announcement, adjournment. Okay, so the types of motions, that's what we're gonna get into right now, and it's a flow sheet. So the type of motions that they can have now, I'm going to highlight what type of motion I believe Miss Kobe was trying to use. And when can you use it? Hold on. I think I got a better one. Hold on. This one. It was a beautiful flow sheet. There we go. This is a beautiful flow sheet. We're going to read this real quick, then I'm going to show you the flow sheet. So now we show you this, and then you want to listen to what he say, and you're going to catch the bullshit. Okay. I think this other flow sheet is better. Let's do this one, because the second one was kind of, I said it. They'll understand it better if we do this one first. All right. So this is Robert Rules of Order Toolkit Refresher. This is a cheat sheet. Yep. You know, I'm a nurse. We're going to find something to break it down. All right. So this is the actions. These are things that they can call. And we're going to know when they could call it. It says, can I interrupt the speaker? Which would be the mayor or the supervisor. Do you need a second? Can it be debated? Can be amended? Is a vote needed? Okay. So this is not directly under Harvey or Thornton, but this is general, and this matches the resources that I was looking at. So let's just get an idea. So introduction to a motion, whatever we have on the agenda. Can it be interrupted? I move to whatever. It can't be interrupted. The person say second. Yes, I second. Can it be debated? Yes. And now we're going to say the things. Can it be debated? Yes. But there's certain motions that you call. Can it be amended? Yes. Can a motion be amended? So whatever's on the agenda should be able to be debated and amended. Okay? Votes that's needed is the majority. So when he says you need basically respect the seat, respect the throne, that's understandable, but you're the president. But the board can actually vote out the president of the company. Like you have seen many companies like IBM and big companies who the president was there, started and got their ass voted out because they have a board, and a board is run different than a dictatorship. Okay, so amend the motion. So when the motion is up to be amended, I move to amend the motion. Can it be interrupted right there? No. Once the person make the second, yes. Wait, I second. Then somebody say, I want to debate. You can debate. Can this be amended? Can amended motion be amended? Yes. And then a vote needs to be taken. Let's move forward. Moving item to a committee. You remember where they talk about move it back or things like that? As we know, it can't be. When they first put it up there, we're going to move this to move to the committee. All right. Do we have a second? Yes. When somebody else is about to say, can I move on? You say, somebody will say, I have a question, because you're going to see they have other things they can say, which is request information. I'm going to jump down here. So during that time, anytime they can say, I request information, or they can say they can table a motion. They can object to a procedure. These are things that can be done after the action has been moved and the second has been, depending on what it is. I got this cheat sheet. So basically, if he puts something out there on the agenda and he's speaking, no one could interrupt him. Then he say, "Can I get a second?" Say, "Hey, I want to pay this bill. This is Clark." And she say, somebody say yes. And then you have Kobe that say, "Hey, I have a question." Or can I request information? Now, if she say, "Can I request information?" She don't need a second. Here we go, right here. She don't need a second to ask a question or request information or ask a question. She don't need a second here. She don't. Can it be debated? No. No one should be debating that she has questions. Can her question be amended? No. Do they need to vote on her question? No. Okay. So what he's saying doesn't seem to be coming from a factual place. Now, if I have to freedom of information request the direct Robert Rules of Order from which they are following, I will. But this is some of the things that I found. Now, point of order. Anybody could call a point of order. If the mayor's out of pocket, the supervisor's out of pocket, you can interrupt him and say, point of order. Yes. Okay, you're a part of the board. I'm teaching the new board some shit. They should have gave you this package. Don't be afraid. Can you table a motion? You can't interrupt the speaker, but if there's a motion that you want to table for later on debate, yes, you can move forward to second it. Can it be debated? No. Can it be amended? No. You don't need to debate if somebody wants to table it. You don't need to say why, blah, blah, blah. Don't blame the residents. It's y'all asses going down the yellow brick road. And then majority votes. Okay. This is just a little bit. I don't want to go deep, but I think I broke down the key elements. So now we can listen to Clark shuck and jive. And now we have some of the foundation of how the vote actually works. So remember, just because someone is the president doesn't mean they don't have a check and balance system. This is what it is. In every business, the United States corporation, if you have a president, you have a CEO, you have a board, you have a check and balance system, you have different specialists, does not mean that president vote supersedes everyone. It's called separation of powers. That's why we have all of these court cases and things going on with Trump right now, because what Trump is pulling is his ass. Where respect the seat. But no, it's 4 other branches to this that helps you get power, that allots you the power to do so. So I just wanted to highlight that for the people, because this jugger be shucking and jiving like nobody could pull up the Robert's Rule of Order and explain the shit. Stop it. Kobe has the right to debate, to ask, not she has to debate, she can ask a question or she can ask for information. And it does not need a vote. That is not Robert Rules of Order. So let's clarify that. He's wrong. Moving forward.
4 of them, have been there and have had terms. And then some of them were not only in city council, but they had also served in other parts of government where they knew how things were run. So it's not really a situation that we're not doing the rules the right way. It's just a situation, in my opinion, that somebody that just doesn't want to follow the rules.
So I guess I asked you this question though, but can you say?
You say he's just a sad, pitiful black guy. It's funny because you could tell he's just a miserable ass. That's why he act like this. Nobody likes him. Nobody. Let's move forward.
That there are times that do you feel like you've gotten it wrong at all?
Absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely. Now, look, one thing, we're talking, and I don't know, who all of your viewers are, but I'm just a human being like anybody else. And
don't read the comments. Just swipe to the left. Swipe. Can you see the comments?
Can I see comments?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm not really paying attention.
Okay.
But anyway, so what happens is, when you're on this side.
Oh, Clark, let me say this. Right now.
Now, there's a few times that I have seen just skipping through this Jedediah go ass out on somebody, and when he do, I'm just gonna laugh because he got he going off. He went off on like 3 people. The interview was good, but how the hell you go off and go right back into the interview? I'm gonna have to give it to you, Jedediah. You went off on people, went right back smooth, like nothing happened. I'm just like, can you just tell somebody off real quick? Okay, let's play the video.
I'm gonna be honest. When I just said that, I had to realize something. I look, almost 2 decades of advocacy. Y'all done seen me go to jail, fight like hell, had all kind of stuff happen. I ain't never miscarried y'all, mishandled y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all for a fact. This man is on here obviously because he regarded INA. Some of you all are regulars here. Before you all start yelling everything, I would love to ask some of these questions, but I could tell y'all not even listening. I need us to let the man didn't even have to come on here today. Let's hear what the mayor has to.
An engineer, and I love math and all the rest of that nerdy stuff.
Disrespect Jedediah. I'm trying to get to it.
And so, I realize that sometimes, when the pendulum swings this way, what'll happen is sometimes when it swings back, it has to swing back to the same amount of where it was on the other side until eventually, it comes to rest. And so you begin to find yourself and you begin to realize, okay, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the right way to approach whatever it was. But that's why you try to surround yourself with decent people. That's why you come on something like this, and you talk to people so you can find out what's going on, and you can try to get it right. One thing for sure is I didn't run for mayor because
now that I use Monday service, AI makes solving tickets my form of meditation. Monday.
I found some.
He's draining a little bit because he's long-winded. He's long-winded. He talk around a lot of stuff, y'all.
Oriented.
Okay, man. Clark, hold on, Clark, because you are a thinker and you're an educated man, and you are a perfectionist, aren't you?
I wouldn't think so, but some people may say.
I ain't never seen my background is fake. You took some time you got books and all kind of.
Well, if we can get that, there should be no problem.
I want to talk about Kobe. Let's get a little bit to Kobe because this man is long-winded.
So I am, again, there's so many things. I don't want to have this all over the place, but I'm really focusing in on the culture of your city council. You say you come from a dysfunctional place. You're trying to get the business done.
Right.
So there are several individuals who I've seen been consistently detractors against your administration. Why is there any communication between you all outside of the setting of the city council meeting? I'm curious.
No, absolutely not. And it's not because it hasn't been welcome. When you, first of all, I think some of the viewers may know, that I hold Meet the Mayor every Friday from noon to 3, except for on June 6th. But other than that, Meet the Mayor. So you can come if you are a Harvey resident. You can come and you can meet the mayor and you can talk about your issues, whatever they may be. And we help hundreds of thousands of people with their issues every week. If you are not able to say, for instance, come on, Fridays from noon to 3, you can always call the office and you can make an appointment. I tell people all the time, ask for Ramona. She's my executive assistant, and she will schedule you an appointment so that we can, have a discussion. You have to.
You know what? I'm sorry. The reason why I'm shaking my head because I think he do have these meetings. I saw a few things on Harvey YouTube page, and he's literally sitting there for like 2 hours just fucking talking about whatever he want to talk about. And I didn't see much questions going on, but maybe those were just presentations that he was showing. Hold on, my thing is beeping. He's a talker. And he knows how to stray the conversation the way he wants to. Why am I think he's going off? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay.
Tell her what it is we're talking about so we can be properly prepared. But other than that, the door has always been open. The same way the door was open to you when you showed up.
Very unique situation. I'm giving you that. I'm giving you the credit. You literally made your time available. I think you was in the middle of 2 very important issues. But so you're saying any resident can come meet the mayor?
Yes.
They got to say what they want to meet for. And this is something that the community knows.
Yes. Well, let's put it this way. I don't know what the community knows, but I can tell you what we've put out. Okay. I talk about it in the meeting. I talk about it in the meeting. We put it in the water bills for people to see in the water bills. So it's an insert in the water bills. We put it in our on our newsletter as well. When I go to different ward meetings and things of that nature, I talk about it at the ward meetings. So people are aware. Whether they internalize it or not, I don't know. But then again, I don't know a lot of mayors that go about meeting with the people on a regular basis at a regular time, during the week anyway. I've actually only known one, and I'll give him credit because that was the mayor of Homewood, and I took that from him and Abraham Lincoln to you need to get to know the people, but not only that, you need to stay grounded. So I have some people that come by. Everybody that come by meet the mayor don't necessarily like the mayor. They come by to check the mayor and let the mayor know what's going on and how they feel about some certain things. And they, and I listen and I learn. And it's usually from some of our elders. If I listen
about those individuals who are vocal about you in the meetings, have they ever attempted meet the mayor?
They don't come. They don't come.
Okay.
Now they may, of course, show up now that I'm over here talking about it.
Well, I'm asking. Okay, so you're saying in fairness, they may not even know about it. Is what you're saying?
No, they know about it. I'm absolutely certain that they know about it.
How do you know?
Because I've told them.
You know what happens? I think people, you can invite someone to come meet with you and things like that, but if you're really not listening to them and you're not taking what they're saying in consideration, and it's just a bunch of hot air for publicity, I think people get pretty sick of that shit. That's probably why nobody wants to come, and they'll probably come now because it'll hold you to the fire a little bit because you came on Jedediah's show, shucking and jiving. Look at this guy face. Thank you. I definitely agree. I'm trying to give him the floor, but I'm trying to push through all of the hot air because yes, and that's what I'm trying to figure out too. But as we mentioned, and many other people mentioned, there's a good percentage of Illinois, Jersey, New York, Atlanta, many states that don't participate in voting or in the system because they so dismayed and disgusted by people like him that lies and manipulates and get into the seat and don't do anything. He knows he's no good. Let's move forward to about like Abraham Lincoln. And something is wrong with somebody mentally. I can't say that. I don't know. Because sometimes I'll laugh and I'll get serious, but it takes me a second to transition. But he's literally crack a joke and not crack a joke, say something and just go right back into his regular talking. It's weird. I'm going to show you. I have to show you what I'm talking about. But looking at it from a nurse, I'm looking at his what's wrong with him? How you go from serious, what the hell is going on around here? Watch him. And narcissists, what they do because they don't have emotions is that they try to pick up on the feed of the crowd and who is around them. So their emotional face or their feelings that's inappropriate at the time, maybe very apathic or don't give a damn, won't show. So if Jedediah is smiling, he's going to smile. You see what I'm saying? If it's something that he knows supposed to light it up, he'll do because he's real. I think in my eyes, he's a narcissist. That's kind of one of the narcissist traits too. We're going to watch him. You're going to see him go from he. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Am I back in the psych ward? But maybe I'm overanalyzing. Let's watch this guy.
That's why. Okay. I know that I've even said it in some of the meetings that, if you got an issue or you got a situation or a problem or a matter that you want to address, they'll say, you can always come to meet the mayor. And then I said, I hold meet the mayor from, and do my little spiel, as far as how that goes. That's what I do. So unless they clogged up their ears or they could have come in, did their public comment, said what they wanted to say. And then what happens on every now and then occasionally is that then they leave when it's time for me to say something. So maybe they don't get that information. Because they decided that they wanted to leave and they didn't want to stay and listen to what I needed to say. Man, Clark, this is not CNN, so I'm a little ghetto and unruly at times. And somebody said, say what you want, but these two could be in a toothpaste commercial. Just give me Colgate.
I was looking at the same thing. I said, that shit give it I said at the beginning of the live in my head, I said, both of them got veneers on. They teeth perfect. I said, well, let me shut up with my missing ass teeth. I'm the only one with real teeth in all them damn nice ass veneers and shit.
I don't know.
That's what that is.
Okay, so
I'm missing mine. I'll be all right.
Heads up in here, Jack. Okay, so this is interesting to me because basically what you're telling me is that my experience of coming to you as a potential
I want to
getting a meeting with you was not unique. You would do this for the people who live in the community. Absolutely. That's what you're saying. Absolutely. Say it again on the record. Say you'll meet with them.
Absolutely. Well, I've already welcomed them, and I welcome them again.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna say let's move on to where he's about to talk about Miss Colby. This just meeting with people, as I say, is very obsolete if you the person is talking hot air, or they're not listening to you, or it's just for political mumbo jumbo. So fuck meeting. I think the demands and things that people have been giving you over and over, it should be some way to address it. So as he say, people leave because they don't want to hear his response. But I hope he's addressing the concern and not just responding because he has an attitude. So I'm going to listen more to what he responds, because he's allegedly respond. He gives answers back to the questions. The last meeting, I didn't hear that. Everything that everybody was bringing up, he didn't address. Him and his 4 trustees was there shucking and jiving, talking shit about Miss Colby, talking about how she ain't a lady and all types of shit. That's what I heard in that last meeting. I started cursing, but it's very disrespectful. So for him to say decor, oh, you had no decor. Knock it off. Knock it off. And what he was supposed to do when the meeting got off of the tack that it was supposed to, he was supposed to, him or her, supposed to say objection to proceeding, point of order, so everybody can get back in to what we were talking about. Or you say it was another thing. Hold on, moving to overrule the character. It was one more thing, basically, to get people back in order. He could say one more thing: request information, ask for conditions of change, enforce the agenda. So he could have, Mr. Decor, while he was there talking all that shit about Miss Colby after she got locked up, he could have said, wait, we have decor. I want to show that we're better. Let's enforce the agenda. And he fucking didn't. Okay? Stop. Oh, and I want to show you the website. Minutes, they have no minutes up there at all. No minutes. Most of the agendas are very flimsy. If it has an ordinance that looks like it was supposed to be an agenda, it has no damn number. Let's just listen to what he got to say about Miss Colby.
And I'm ready for you. And then I said, oh, you thought you was gonna lock me up, and you said, I don't lock up anybody. If you need to be locked up, you need to be locked up. It was like you was like letting me know what's up, homie. So I think that you know that's something very minute. But that y'all, we got to be honest about this for a minute. Can you talk back? And if you talk back as a soundbite, now you look bad. So I get it. It sucks for you.
Yeah, it really does. You look. But that's because, in my opinion, people look at me. First of all, I think they look at me in a totally wrong way. They look at me as being a politician or whatever you want to call it, and that's not me. I'm Chris. I grew up in Harvey. You know what I'm saying? I went to Emerson. For those who went to Emerson, shout out to the Emerson Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I went to Brooks. I graduated from Thornton. Sorry.
I don't think. I think that's gaslighting too. I think a lot of politicians do that. Like, oh, they're looking at me like a politician and things like that. But I think people really kind of look at people for sometimes who they are, like their personality, and they fall in love with them or they don't like them. Like Miss Colby, the first time I saw her, I didn't see her as all the men, all the women. I saw a person. I was like, she looked like a beautiful woman, not by face, but by aura. When I see him, I see demon syndrome, but I'm going to just shut the hell up. So stop using that excuse. So let's move on to what you did to Miss Colby.
More times than I get it wrong.
Very interesting. I want to take you back to this moment.
Mm-hmm.
He said he get it right.
It's regular stuff. Oh, wait, I played 327 instruments. I got one back here in the back. You know, just a regular person. For some odd reason, it all of a sudden becomes that we're supposed to be different, and it's just not me. You know, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I hope, like everybody else, to get it right more times than I get it wrong.
Okay.
Very interesting. I want to take you back to this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you back to this moment. This arrest. Everybody still wanted to talk about this arrest. So let's go to the arrest. But I'm not gonna just play a clip. I'm gonna play it from, I think, a fair place, a balanced place.
Okay.
Let's play this. Let me play this clip.
Meet the Bark Phone, a safer phone for your child, teen, and family. With it, you can monitor apps, social media.
That resolution number is 4005.
Thank you.
Now, remember the Robert Rules of orders that I told you that we just went over. Let's listen.
On the agenda is a resolution approving a redevelopment agreement for Blue Crest Estates LLC. This resolution approves a redevelopment agreement between the City of Harvey and Blue Crest Estates for the purpose of rehabilitating Black property located at 60 East 155th Street, Harvey, Illinois. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. There's a motion by the third and second by the sixth. Is there any debate?
Yes, call question.
There's a motion to call question.
This is so, Ms. Allen,
Is there a second?
Ms. Smith had called question.
Is there you are
So she had a question. As we read on the Robert Rules of Order, if you have a question, you don't have to get a vote. Y'all want me to show you that real quick? I want to show you one more time just so people won't be confused. There we go. Tell him to stop lying. She had a question and she has the right to ask a question. Let's just show it one more time because I don't want people to think like somebody's messing it up. Well, how you have, okay. In the debate, objection to procedure. Here we go. Enjoy request information. And then I think is another part about the question. It's on the other one. So request for information is point of information. That's question, whatever way she's going to say it. It says, can you interrupt the speaker? Yes. Do you need a second? No. Can it be debated? No. Can it be amended? No. And then it says, can it be voted on? Do it need a vote? No. So right now, what he just did was illegal. Okay? I said it in my Tiffany Henyard crackhead voice. Illegal, illegal, illegal. Let's play it. Do she deserve to get locked up, y'all?
You are out of order. It's out of order. Just a second time, we are going to continue to call you out of order. And please do not allow the disruption. You are not going to disrupt the speaker. Is there a second?
Why are you all moving?
This is the last time I'm going to ask again after that. I'm going to ask for a motion to censure and removal.
That is unfortunate that Ms. Allen can't make a
The
decision.
chair will entertain a motion to censure and remove the second ward alderperson from the meeting.
There's no.
So if she has a question, she can interrupt the speaker before the second is called. And she did that. She followed the rules. She can do that.
Democracy in that. And the people
We have a motion and a second for the
opportunity for the minority voice.
There's a motion for censure. There's a second.
Ms. Allen, they don't want to have a home at 60 East 150. Miss that.
Point of order. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Hearing none.
Wait, so how you in the middle of a vote and then you just stop voting and then you make another vote to say who want to basically kick her out? And everybody say, what the hell is going on around here? That's not how the meeting was supposed to go. She's asking for information and you can't just move on and say, I'm asking for a second. Shut up. Basically, that's a dictatorship. So let me hear what this demon syndrome man has to say.
Because they don't have votes. Please escort the second ward alderman from the.
Hey, let's see if she hits the police like he said.
Council Chambers, thank you.
Don't touch my stuff. You got that from the lawsuit.
Don't y'all think y'all get a little bit aggressive?
Hey!
Where did she hit the police? Because he said that she hit the police. And if she didn't, that's defamation. No, I'm blowing it up. But you know what I'm saying. He's lying on her.
Is your child struggling
And wait,
with a gaming?
And after that, guess what they did? They proceeded to talk about her, to talk about how she's not a lady and all of this crazy stuff. Where was the decorum in that? Why didn't y'all call to proceed on with the agenda? Let's play it.
Very much so.
Obviously, one of great contention and speculation. What are we looking at here?
Well, you're looking at several things. One is, if you really follow it, let's take our emotions out of it for a minute, okay? And you follow what happened. And you'd actually have to probably go about 5 to 7 minutes prior. What was taking place is a portion of the rules, which is a motion to call the question, was being brought to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens is the motion called to call the question, which is a part of the Robert Rules of Order, it stops and ceases debate. So the third ward alderperson, God bless her, God rest her soul, because I'm not trying to throw her under the bus here.
It stops.
But the third ward alderwoman was using the motion to call the question in order to cease any debate. So once that happens, I, as the chair, have to recognize that that's what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take a vote on it.
No,
that had been used several times prior.
That's when he's lying. Let me take a picture real quick. See, he says that what she did was to stop the proceeding and it caused a debate. And he was like, me being the person that knows what she's doing, that I have to then call for a vote. That is not the truth. Let me just show you the picture before I have to switch screens. I just want to rub it in the damn hole that he is a liar. He's a liar. And I love the fact that Jedediah had a great interview, but I really believe that he should have had some of this shit to put in his face like, sir, no, right here in this section means that they do not need to have a debate. They don't need to vote. This is a point of question. No, all above. Plain and simple. Answer the damn question. You can't debate it. You can't vote on it. None of it. So what the hell is he talking about? Y'all let me know. What is this man talking about?
And by the time you got to where you were in the video, Alderman Chapman seemed, and I can't really speak for her, a little frustrated by the use of the motion to call the question. So this time she just kept talking instead. And she kept talking. And as you see, I ruled her out of order on several occasions, 2 to be exact, and then told her if I had to do it again, I was going to ask the council. So I'm not making just a decision my own arbitrarily, but I was going to ask the council to censure her and have her removed from the chambers.
Now,
and so
I'm gonna let y'all listen while I finish go down this document, because I didn't hear censured. I had learned that word most recently that take place on the senator floor, and I guess that is to stop someone from talking or whatever. But I never saw that inside of the Robert Rules handbook. So I mean, what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna look that up. That censored, but I think that's for the Senate floor. I don't think that has shit to do with a meeting that y'all having in Harvey on a community level. But I'm gonna look it up. Because he's trying to apply shit like he's a Senate. Like he's the president. Where the fuck is he getting this from? That's not in the Robert Rules. And if it is, guys, y'all show me, because I didn't see it. So he made a vote to censor her. I just showed you votes. It ain't no vote to shut somebody up. It's a vote to enforce the agenda, take a break, enforce the rules in the meeting, request information, amend the motion, ask a question, ask for conditions to be changed. That's it. The hell, where is he getting this from? The king has spoke. That's why y'all don't give someone who think they have power more power by making them feel they can do shit. No. Even if you my boss, I'll be like, ma'am, now you know that ain't right. Y'all know I'll be getting in trouble at work. I'll be like, now you know you lying. She be like, Lashley, but that ain't the truth. I don't give a damn, you the boss. You gonna have to fire my ass, because I'm gonna write on an incident report that you lied.
That's what I did. Following, once again, at least in my opinion, the rules. And so I asked for the motion to censor. I got the motion. Another alderperson gave the second.
There's an alderman here. Is it a motion to censor? Is it? Because there's none here in the book. Please send it to me.
We couldn't even really do a direct roll call, because she was still talking, meaning our second ward alderman was still talking over everything, that we couldn't do that. And that's why I had to say all in favor, signify by saying aye, and take a voice vote instead. From that point, she was supposed to leave. Now, I don't necessarily believe that angle shows it. It does show her pulling back, and it does show a police officer's arm from what I saw, but it doesn't show when she hit the police officer. And because they were just picking up her items.
Y'all saw it? You see how he lying? She said, get off my arm. She ain't elbow nobody. And he still had her from under her damn arm. She said, get off my stuff. You see how he lying and said that she hit somebody? Defamation. You did that to Ryan. Now you're doing it to her.
I had, honestly, to tell you the truth, we'd had a discussion about this before, about when people get unruly. And, you know, instead of having to put hands on them, the best way to do it is to grab one of their items, because they'll follow their item.
See?
You know, if you have a purse per se, you know, grab the purse and take the purse, because, you know, they're going to follow the purse. They're going to follow the computer. They're going to follow their cell phone. They're going to follow whatever it is, you know, that's
stealing. That's fucking stealing. Yo, he told them to grab her stuff. They have no right to do that to her. They didn't have no right.
You can grab hold of. So that's what they were doing. And that's why you heard her say, well, don't touch my stuff. And that's when she turned around to one of our detectives and pointed her finger at him, and then she hit him. And that's when he went hands-on with her.
Oh, can I show that part again, guys? Can we watch it in slow motion just one more? Because he a liar. She said that he just came up with a whole scenario and said that Miss Kobe, is her last name Chapman? Miss Kobe, because I remember Kobe. Is it Chapman last name? Miss Kobe hit the police. That's a lie. Let's just play it one more time, because we're going to have to clear her name.
Approves a redevelopment agreement between the City of Harvey and Bluecrest Estates for the purpose of rehabilitating black property located at 60 East 155th Street, Harvey, Illinois. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. This motion by the third and second by the sixth. Is there any debate?
Yes, about what?
There's a motion called on question.
This is so, Miss Allen, unfortunately, Miss Smith had called the question.
Is there, you are out of order.
Miss Allen.
You are out of order. That's the second time. We are going to continue to call you out of order. And please do not allow the disruption. We are not going to disrupt this meeting.
Disruptive, man.
Is there a second?
Why are you all moving?
This is the last time I'm going to ask again after that. I'm going to ask for censure and removal.
That is unfortunate that Ms. Allen can't make a decision.
The chair would entertain a motion to censure and remove the second ward person from the meeting.
There's no democracy in that. And the people
we have a motion and a second for the
opportunity for the minority voice.
There's a motion to censure. There's a second.
Ms. Allen, they don't want to at 60 East 150th Street. Miss that.
Point of order. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed.
That's not.
Hearing none.
That's not even a real thing to call to censor her. Now let's see if she hit the police. That's what we're trying to get to. We explained all of what just happened, which was BS. But let's go.
Because they don't have votes, please escort the second ward all over from the council chambers. Thank you.
Don't touch my stuff. Me from the law. Don't touch my stuff.
I'm trying to get out here a little bit of aggressive.
See, we need another body cam. This is exactly what this dick buck, excuse my language. I heard what he said. He said before she pointed at the officer, she hit the officer, knowing that that guy blocked that. Y'all saw he just blocked that part. And we need another body cam. If we had the officer body cam that actually grabbed her, we could debunk the fact that she didn't hit him. Why would she hit him and then be pointing at him? That's what he said, that she hit him and then start pointing at him. And this guy is smart. He's Scarface smart, y'all. He picked the right time that was covered by the camera. Oh, go ahead, Clark. Don't worry. We got our eye on you. So we can't prove by 100% reasonable doubt without reasonable doubt here, because you know what we like to do. Because I don't think Miss Kobe hit them. But he picked the part where the officer was right in front of the camera and we can't see. But that doesn't make sense. She'll hit him and then start pointing. Please.
Stop.
All right, I'm mad.
Life's
So,
better
okay, now what we're going to do is
when you're under our
towards
roof.
the end, because this is a long interview. So I'm going to get towards the end where I think he even, I'm not even talking about it. I'm not going to talk about the parts where
23% by
people, and I'm talking about Jedediah, your ass cursing out people in the middle of your live. I ain't playing it, but it was funny. All right, let's get to towards the end part, and I think that's where I was at, where he was talking about we talked to Ryan and the other lady who came up there, one of the alderman ladies who was gaslighting for him. Yeah, let's see if we could get her up there. She was gaslighting like a motherfucker for him. Where we at?
And we don't have that anymore. So even though we do have people who are expressing themselves in a way that might be displeasing to some, it's not displeasing to me. I am pleased with the fact that that opportunity now exists. So that's it.
Well, Ryan, that makes zero sense. How you not calling to talk to somebody who called you a name, but you in the comments talking a whole lot? And me, for one person, I would love for you to tell me, how do you become the best friend of somebody who's trying to destroy my work because I didn't come to Harvey, I guess, the day you wanted me to? So since you can come on and answer that. But I have watched you in the chat. You've been saying a whole lot. So why?
That is so messy. How you see how he just got messy as all hell, and everybody's just sitting there, and Clark used to the mess. Nigga ain't even move. He like it ain't faze him. That's Scarface, right?
And not call in. Next.
We didn't even get to him.
We got one more?
Yeah, this was the last.
That didn't even get to him, not one bit at all. Anybody else would have been like, what's going on here? He like, fuck it, ain't got nothing to do with me. Straight face.
That's one, 64-68. Everybody else that's on there, I apologize. I won't be able to get you tonight. You got the floor. Make it good.
Hi, good evening. So I am a Harvey resident, and I just want to say that I'm new to Harvey, so I'm not a lifelong resident of Harvey. And I don't take sides. I mean, I didn't listen to what people had to say. Initially, when I moved here, I wanted to see and observe for myself. And what I've observed is that there's very little regard for the residents, as far as there's no esteem for the residents as being thinking people. I feel like everything you and your administration are playing in our faces with regard to transparency, with the finances, with the agenda items. We don't get to see anything in that agenda packet at all, ever, period, point blank. And I know Alderman Rogers went on camera and says no municipality gives their residents the packet ahead of time, and that is patently untrue.
That's a lie. Even my area give the agenda early, and that shit have a lot in it. I was like, how am I keep with this and this stuff over here? So what Harvey pushing, what his ass pushing, is a whole lot of hot garbage.
Came from a city where the full packet, bills list, correspondence, everything but personnel and any kind of legal things that needs to be taken care of in executive session, all of that was made available to the public ahead of time before the meetings so that they can make informed comments and informed decisions about what it is that's going on, and then ask questions that are germane to what's going on with the city. And I just feel that we're not being given that opportunity. And I feel like a lot of times we're being condescended to, we're being talked down to, we're being treated like, well, these are just poor Black people. They don't know any better. They don't know nothing. None of them are educated. I happen to be very educated. And so there's nothing that you could present in any of those agendas, any of those bills lists that I would not be able to comprehend. If you and all the other alderpersons can comprehend it, I can certainly comprehend it. And so can many of the other residents of the city. That's number one. Number two, I feel like there's a hiding behind the home rule option that Harvey has enlisted.
Cause she hitting it. She hitting it. Shout out to that new resident.
To skirt around issues and to skirt around the legalities of the state.
That's what he did the whole time. That's why we're not watching the whole 3 hours. I'm like, fuck it, just get to the end. We showing the good bulk of how he's skirting around legalities and BS. Censored. How you gonna censor her at a damn council meeting? This ain't the Senate floor.
State. And I think the only reason that you're coming on tonight is because you've had some recent bad press. The woman who was mauled has been in the news just recently, and then Alderman Chapman was in the news 2 weeks ago. So Harvey is making. You're saying it's the residents that are making it bad for Harvey, but I feel like it's more of you and what you're doing or not doing that's making bad press for Harvey. And that's to the people of Harvey. If we don't vote, then we're going to keep getting what we're getting. If we don't stop doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. And so it's our onus to take up at this point to be able to get new leadership in office in 2027. That's our responsibility. If we don't like it, we have to come out and vote. We have to put our money where our mouth is and get other people to vote the way we want to be for representation, the way we want to be represented.
So I hear you.
And to be treated the way we want to be treated.
Caller, I hear you. And obviously I'm letting you speak and he's listening to you. But is there a question for him? And I do want to correct something because I just have to. And I asked Mayor Clark to be on the show today. And I had told him that I wanted him to do this when there was an arrest. But I have been so busy with the city of Flint that today was my most available day. And he made himself available almost immediately. So he didn't, I can't let that be just a perception because the truth is he told me to tell him when, I told him when, he did show up. So I want to be fair to him, but is there a question for him that he can
Okay.
ask?
My question is, why can't you just treat us as though we're not even equal partners? We actually pay your salary. So why can't you treat us with the respect that we deserve? We need to be informed. We need to be informed in a timely manner. And then we need to be able to express our concerns without any hindrances at city council meetings. And so that's all my question is, why can't we be treated the way we deserve to be treated as residents of Harvey?
Okay. All right. Well, in response to that, I want to go back a little bit. First of all, give me a time that you tried to get the agenda and you weren't able to get the packet.
Every damn time. Every time. We're going to show you the Harvey thing. A piece of motherfucking paper. Let me show you right now. He's just shucking and jiving because we're going to come to an end with this. We got the receipts. Ain't nobody about to play with his ass. Oh, he's like, well, when was the time that you didn't get the packet? Let's put this one right here. Now, this is the last one. Did I download it? Did I have to download this stupid thing? This is the packet. This is the packet from May 12th. What does it say? One motherfucking page. That's the packet? That's the packet? Wait, is that the packet that he said, well, you couldn't get it? This is the Finance Committee April 28th meeting. That's the packet? One page? Is that the I got jokes today. One more. Let's see if we're going to get a packet. April 28th, this is the City of Harvey Council meeting. Let's get a packet. Ooh, we got 2 pages here. Is that the packet? Okay, and this is the one I was talking. It's not a damn packet, but this is the one I was talking about that had ordinance and things. The motion authorized to agree upon settlement. So these settlements, we gonna go over that dog. Who's so in Harvey? If you're doing so well, why do we see pending lawsuits here? Somebody snitching. Now this one is what I was talking about. Ordinance. It says ordinance number and ordinance establishing fees for zoning clearance reviews and property purchase requests. What the fuck? What is that? This ordinance amends the Harvey Code of Ordinance to provide an application fee to recoup costs associated with evaluating application for zoning clearance authorizations and property purchases requests. What fees does it take for you to evaluate applications? What associated fees do you need that? And how much is it? And what the hell is the ordinance number? Huh? This is your packet? All right, we're going to save the details of this damn 2-page packet for another day, but we just going to show the receipts in real time because the nigga got game. I ain't mean to call him the Nick, but you know what I'm talking about. They don't mean black. Somebody just ignorant. And that's what I think he is, because he thinks we ignorant. You got to be stupid that we ain't gonna be able to look this up. When were you not able to get the packet? Before, after, today, yesterday, every day. Let's play.
That you actually made a request and
Oh
wasn't
my
able.
gosh, I've emailed my alderperson. I've emailed the city clerk. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
Well, you're talking to me now, and that's the reason why I'm trying to find out, because if there's a glitch in the system, first of all, I want to find out what that glitch is so that we can fix it.
Wait, Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Have you ever emailed the mayor?
Now, this is a little weird. You said, have you ever emailed the mayor? Or that's Jedediah, but you said he said he needs to find out the glitch, because I'm trying to keep this off of Jedediah. Jedediah, do your thing. I'm trying to stay on the mayor. You said, have you ever made a request? Highlighting that within this damn live, you admit that Ryan has a Freedom of Information request against you, lawsuit, and you have a few that's pending. So why do we need to make a request for the agenda that you're supposed to have on the website that literally have just a shell of an agenda up there each time, like it's a cookie cutter? It says nothingness. He makes me sick. Let's move. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here, because this ain't good damage control, sir.
No, I've never emailed the mayor.
Okay, Mayor, go ahead.
And if we email the mayor, what the hell is that going to do? You ain't going to send us no Freedom of Information request. The mayor going to forward that to his assistant, and whoever handle that is going to handle that. If the mayor respond.
That's even so, if there's a glitch in the system, we still try to find out what the glitch is, even if they haven't. So that's number one. Number two, people have a right to see what the agenda is and see what the items are. And a lot of times, I don't know if every single time it's posted on Facebook, but they can also come.
So you telling me the full agenda is on Facebook and not on the Harvey page? Where the hell we gonna find that? I want the full breakdown. Like, we're gonna show you Dolton. I think Dolton had a full breakdown before we get out of here. He's lying. He's lying and gaslighting. Okay.
And request it. And if there's ever a problem, you also have a right under FOIA to be able to see, that information. So I mean,
yes, Mayor, but that's after the fact. I'm saying we want to be informed before the meetings so that we can make informed comments or make informed questions.
Mm-hmm. And I understand. And so once again, we can, because we've never had this conversation, I can look into try to figure out where and what we can do and how we can do it, so that we can satisfy that.
I've actually made public comment to this effect over a year ago. I made public comment to this exact effect.
And I'm not trying to approximate. I'm just being fair here. Like, you got to do FOIA. You have to do FOIA. Have you ever attended meet?
I gotta fast forward. I love you, Jedediah, but this right there, I'm gonna shut the hell up.
Meet with the mayor. Have you ever taken advantage of that?
No, because I work. He offers them during 12 to 3, and I work. I'm not going to take time off to.
What the hell we got to talk to you about? Like, I'm not with all the talking a lot. Like, you keep talking to you blue in the face and nobody does anything. That's why I'm not beat. That's why I like to be in my own little zone, because you keep talking and nothing happens. I get a little dismayed. Like, I be moving on. I don't be beat. I lose trust in people. I like action. I don't like keep coming to the table, talking, conjugating. The shit is annoying to me. But maybe y'all a little bit different. I think people have been coming to the table with these public officials plenty of time, and they're literally not doing anything. I'm not saying, and I'm gonna end this off because this is a long broadcast, and I already talked about how he defamed Ryan in the earlier broadcast. So if y'all want to, y'all can reflect on how I feel about that. This man is off the hook. And what he's doing is going on a campaign trying to, I don't know, Superman his way through this, and it's not going to work because you're going to be exposed. Now, I will say, from what I've been hearing about Harvey has been going through it like as bad as how Flint been going through it. And as far as property, the poverty, water issues. That's one thing I want to talk about too. What do you think they can do as far as getting another water resource? Because he allegedly said that the water bill increased because of the pass-through taxes, pass-through fees that's coming from Chicago. So, is there any other way that you guys can obtain water from a different reservoir that will be cheaper? Because if Harvey's suffering from the same thing Dalton is suffering from, and infrastructure issues. So, I think that's something that Dalton may want to talk to the trustees about. I don't know what your water resources is, but because Chicago is putting such a tax on you guys, y'all may want to find a way to separate from them. That's why I was saying, Thornton, slow down, Tito, slow down, because to get more intertwined in Cook County and bring more of their services over, they're going to tax y'all asses. When y'all can literally create the services yourself. Y'all know y'all had the guy from the Crossroads showing up at the meeting. Yeah, I know I'm talking about the Cook County grants and things like that. Nah, you supposed to be showing Thornton how to get their own grants, and the people fall in line with that. Just please be careful, because y'all have double and triple taxes from them. It says the best thing to come out of the interview is that Jedediah and the commentary convinced Clark to allow people to clap at the city council meeting. Yeah, you think he gonna let that happen? He probably do, just to show face, because he had to admit that it was a little tyrannical. Remember, he said, he was like, it is a little tyrannical. It is, and that doesn't have nothing to do with decor. People can clap because they're happy. But like I explained, and you can look at the Robert Rules of law, into the interruption, usually you can tell happens because of the people who are on a panel, like the trustees, the aldermen, the mayor, supervisor, because they start debating and going off topics. It's for them to say, hey, can we go back to the agenda? That's actually a damn motion. So we learned a lot about the emotion, because I never went into Robert Rules of Order at all. But today was really good. So I do want you guys just to see Robert Rules of Order, while I also just look at that real quick. I'm going to put it on the screen while I look for, allegedly they said that Dalton put up their last set of bills that they paid. Now y'all see the Robert Rule point of orders and things. Check that out real quick. And then I'm going to pull up the Dalton page and see if the agenda has, let's see, financial records. What's they got going on? Remember they said, where we at? Warrant list. What are financial reports? Hold up. What was it? It was Dalton, right? Okay. When was the last meeting? Because y'all know sometimes I have pulled up problems pulling up the agenda. I want to pull up the last packet. View board meetings. Click to watch the board meeting. Hold on, let me put it on the screen for y'all. Y'all, I need to learn how to navigate. But y'all see these questions that y'all can ask. They can ask. Don't be afraid, y'all. The new trustees, also the new trustees that's in Dalton. Don't be afraid of Napoleon. Nobody give a damn if he was a football player, youth player. He could be DMX. He could be Kanye West. Y'all better sit there and don't be afraid to ask him questions and not let him run through that damn agenda. And know that y'all don't need to have it on the agenda to ask a question. Okay, we need clarification on what's going on. But what I was looking at was the minutes. I think I'm just gonna have to Google Dalton last board meeting minutes, because it'd be hard for me to find it. Find it on board meeting minutes. It's hard for me to find it when I look through the website. If anybody know how to do that, let me know. But I usually Dalton, Illinois. Y'all know there's a few Daltons. There's a Dalton here in Georgia too. I ride past it all the time. All right, I was just over there looking at the agenda minutes. Okay, here we go. I can never find it on the board. Let me pull it up. I always got to Google it. I just want to see if they said it, because this is what I want to, this is going to be part of Dolton, Dolton, Lori Lightfoot 2.0. This was the last meeting. All right. Well, this is a packet. Now, I don't know if this packet was up there at the beginning of the meeting, but baby, Harvey Clark, 59 damn pages. That's what we're looking for. Don't underestimate that we will go through it, depict it, and call you out. Okay? Especially when you have people like Mr. Roberts on that ass. I appreciate you, Mr. Roberts. You know I love your mind. Okay. I love someone who's detail orientated, because you find everything. Motion to approve the following business liquor license. Village administrators Keith Freeman. What the? Y'all heard me? What is this? I thought Keith Freeman was out of here. Come on, Dalton. Do we gotta make a video about Keith Freeman and remind you? Why is his damn name still here? I thought y'all said he was going. Musa Grace. Somebody verify this for me. He's gonna have to get the fuck out of there. He's on the DJ's list. He's on the list with House. I mean, damn, I keep saying House Holmes. He's on the list with Holmes, Brown, Allison, I think that's her name, as well as Keith. Keith, I didn't even know he was there. He done messed up my broadcast. What you got going on over there, Dalton? Clean the house. It's over. Tiffany out. There's no more to hold him. He ain't got no control that y'all won't have. Replace his ass. Can Wiedemann be this administrator for both? Shit. I like Wiedemann. She seems like she has integrity. I like people who got like no favoritism, integrity, like people who would just ride out by themselves. And I think that's what Stephanie have. If y'all have somebody else like her, they have to replace Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman's still y'all administrator. I'm over here riding like a donkey. I'm upset. Okay, let's just move on. I think I wanted to just see. I'm going to look at this. These are more settlements that's coming up. Pablo's is coming up. Look, Pablo's settlement is coming up. Stephanie Wiedemann's settlement is coming up. That's the one we were talking about. We're going to be going into that. Approval of traffic, parking red light, code enforcement, adjudicators engagement agreement. So what are y'all trying to get like lawyers and stuff to help y'all run through all them damn traffic lights? Huh? Cases? So y'all can run them through them like Harvey do, or like how my town do, have thousands of people there paying tickets that they ain't supposed to. Let me shut. I'm going. I got post-traumatic stress, y'all. Don't pay no mind to me. I don't like them tickets. Let's keep our eye on that. All right. So with this 59-page report, it's something up here that I wanted to see. I'm gonna go through this, but it was about bills being paid. It's a lot. This is a good one. I think it got a list of bills that's paid, and that's what I wanted to look at too, because I was hearing people was complaining about old ass bills that was paid for 2023 that was popping up, 2021. We're going to go through this packet, but I do want to let y'all know I got my eyes on the prize. Y'all know we got long attention span here. See, like this one, these say Amazon 2023. Amazon, these are $13,000. You see that? And somebody, I ain't saying no names, was pissed off, like, why the hell are you paying it now? So that's the artificial ice towel. Yo, we went right on them. They finally paying the artificial ice towels. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but this was not done legally. So of course they was pushing back on it. But what you think they supposed to do now? Not pay these people that they gotta do business with, like Amazon? If they don't pay this, Amazon ain't gonna let them use their service. I don't know why I need so much damn Amazon. But this is some of the stuff that we're going to talk about when it comes to Dalton. Okay, guys? They are being very transparent. This packet is what Harvey packet is supposed to look like. Training and lunches from 2023 is up here. Yup. Residents like, what the hell? And as I mentioned, it's gonna look a little funny because y'all have a lot of trash to take out. But we're gonna go over that. So we got the documents we need for Thornton Township Lori Lightfoot Report 2.0. We have what we need for Dolton Township Lori Lightfoot 2.0 just to start. And we're gonna go into Lori Lightfoot 1.0 of Harvey and look at the 2021. Let's see what the hell they were spending. And then we're going to go into one of the things that he said too. He said that the comptroller is deducting this amount of money out. And that's the last thing, because I'm kind of jumping from subject to subject. But don't kick my butt. When we do the replay over the weekend, all of the commentary is going to be together. I got you guys. Y'all know how we do. I'll break it up so we can have a replay and everything be consecutive. But he was saying basically that the comptroller is taking a certain amount of money out. And I think Jedediah was implying that it was illegal, but it's not, because you had a judgment against you because you were doing things like Tiffany, not saving and paying the pension for your firefighters and shit. Okay, look at this. That's why they had put a lien on that ass, so the people could get their due justice. An agreement to end a dispute between the city of Harvey and two public safety pension funds provided a glimpse into the impending fiscal crisis stemming from government pensions across the state. An ongoing pension crisis in Harvey, Illinois, has been a warning sign to the state and local government across the states that current systems for funding government workers' retirement is unsustainable without reform, such as the constitutional amendment to allow reductions in the future growth of benefits and bankruptcy for the worst case pensions will lead to a call for tax hikes and cuts to core government services. We're going to go into that a little bit more. What did they say? It says, without a reform such as the constitutional amendment to allow reduction in the future growth of benefits, that's going to help hurt us. That's going to help hurt the fire people. They always trying to save money, but then you got them building these big ass buildings, big ass stadium, big schools with all of this stuff, and people dumber than a doornail. It's not a joke. We got all these beautiful schools with swimming pools, golf, and football shit, and we can't beat China. And China got little huts and shit. I'm not saying they got, because they got skyscrapers, but they pretty modest with their stuff. Like even their kindergartners have a home ec and learn how to do stuff. Go ahead, you better learn. I just went to the left with that. But I'm just saying, we spending our money wrong. So basically, the city of Harvey reached a settlement agreement on July 23rd with its two public safety pension funds. It was two. The agreement divided up state tax dollars due to Harvey, which the Illinois comptroller had been withholding between the city and the two public safety pension funds, according to the report Associated Press. After the city failed to make payments to the pension fund as required by the state law, like what Tiffany was doing, that's why they got sued in Dalton. Remember? The Illinois comptroller began withholding state taxes revenue from the city to distribute to the police fund, to make sure that y'all had police there. That's why the police was doing so bad. They didn't give a damn. They probably wasn't getting paid, didn't have right equipment. They probably was robbing drug dealers. That's probably why you had the feds run down on them twice. They was like, hey, if we ain't getting paid, we about to rob them. I know I have no police who used to do that in Newark. Okay? Go ahead and put them in the wrong situation. That's probably why you had all that damn corruption. So it says the firefighter funds then made its own claim on withholding, effectively blocking the pending agreement between the city and the police pension fund. Harvey reached a short-term agreement with the police and fire pension fund and city bondholders in June to assess $1.3 million of withholding funds so it can meet payroll and settlement outstanding bills into vendors. So basically, they filed like a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And the comptroller was their trustee and said, listen, I'm going to collect this amount, leaving this amount for you. Got to have enough to pay y'all bills and stuff. That's why it wasn't illegal. They literally, that whole criminal organization, allegedly before Clark, you know, the gangsters that was rolling down on people, they had the firemen and the police running around with no pension, probably not even getting paid right. So this is deep. This is very deep. And it does go deeper than Clark, just like it went deeper than Henyard. But these people have learned this behavior from each other. Okay. And their seats has been interchangeable. So I wanted to show you that. And I always say one more thing. Let me show y'all this. This is it. This is Harvey. Did I go out to Harvey website? I wanted just to show y'all who y'all gotta go after. She got to fucking go. Who I'm talking about, y'all? Hold up. You know who gotta go? That gotta go with Clark. I'm about to show y'all. We're gonna get over here, get off of it. Here she go. She the terribleness. She's the object of y'all affliction. She's another person that has to go. The city treasurer, Miss Pickett. Is this the person that is not giving out the budget, is not giving out the paperwork? Is this Miss Pickett? Is the person we have an issue with? She gotta go. The clerk gotta go because she already got y'all on pending lawsuits for freedom of information requests. Clark gotta go because he looked like he got demon syndrome. Keep on playing with me. Go look that shit up. Y'all see he looked like demon syndrome. Shirley, she's a straight fingernail for Clark. She has to go. She's been there so long that she's scared straight. I heard it in her last testimony. I've been over many other undermayors, and he's not as bad, and he's doing a great job because she was under people who was going to bust shots, who was coming in her house, peeking in her window like, blah. Now her ass like, oh, he's not that bad. Clark is just shutting me up. Fuck it. It ain't no guns in my window. Girl, you got to go. You're dealing with post-traumatic stress, and you got to go. You got to go. This Alderman lady right here. I didn't hear much from her. Oh, yeah. Was this the one that came on the show? Acting crazy. I didn't play it on here, but I listened to her. She came on just before the last one I just showed y'all. I think that was her, and she was talking stuff about Kobe instead of actually addressing the issue. So she already sucked. She was the one that basically called Kobe almost a man. Talking about she don't act like a lady. She was one of them capping at the end of that meeting, not following the meeting agenda, saying that she's so prestige, that y'all so perfect and say things so right, decor, when your ass was talking about Kobe. The fuck? That's why I don't hear that decor nonsense. Like, save it. It's just for you to get things through politically incorrect. And you say it in a way that people don't say nothing. I'm not big. And these Tracy gotta go. And call Tyrone. Tyrone gots to go. Well, I was about, you better call Tyrone. He gotta go. He was the one that was showing a picture of his mama. Come out. That's all I gotta say. 92-year-old, happy Mother's Day. Like, we over here talking about serious shit. We asking for the agenda and the budget. And you talking about, that's all I gotta say. These people gaslighting you. And I think I went on long enough on a tangent. I thought I was gonna be here 3 hours, but no, this is enough. I think I said enough. This was our little deep dive into Dalton, Thornton, and Harvey. I hope you learned a lot. Y'all know I'm gonna always drop facts. I'm gonna try to be as less critical as possible, but I just let the Holy Spirit follow me. What I wanted to show today that I did not get a chance to was the S. Hopson situation. Because it gets a little serious when I talk about Alexis, that I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that today, but we will do it Tuesday. We have the update of S. Hopson's body cam. We're still pursuing Officer Carlton to see about his workers' compensation. So about time Tuesday come, I'll give you an update of all the letters I sent out, our guerrilla warfare that we're starting. Guerrilla warfare. Oh no, we don't stop. I am a Once I got my eyes on the prize, I ain't gonna stop. It's going on to a year into this Alexis thing. Y'all think I'm playing? I ain't playing. Guerrilla warfare. We got some stuff under our sleeves, so we're gonna keep it moving and grooving, and then I kind of tell you what we're doing. Also, I have one more thing that I have my eye on, guys. I am trying to get more information into the Darius Wilson case. Who is that? That's cell block 2 or 3. According to the report, it's 2 or 3 of Dalton, that cell blocks where the gentleman had mysteriously suicided himself. Because I had got so many mixed up reports, not even the same people involved in the report from the Illinois State Police versus Dolton, I said, let me go a little bit deeper. So what I am looking for is the body cam of the sergeant that actually found Darius Wilson in the cell. I asked for a specified freedom of information request from both parties, and we're going to see what we get. So my eyes is with Dalton and my heart is with Dalton. You guys, I want to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi. Let me rock out and just be me. Shout out to all my favorite residents and my residents that just, getting to know me. Thank you, Paul, for being part of the audience, giving your input and standing up for your rights for Dalton and Thornton. Miss Smith, thank you for being a great audience member. Miss Williams, what were you trying to read? Let's get to your comment. You said, I don't think they can get water from anywhere else since they are in the same county as Chicago. Well, let's see. I don't know. Let's see what can happen. Also, there's other water resources that can be made. I just got to throw that out there. I tried to shut up because I don't want people to think that, everywhere everybody jumped to, all of us jump into the same thing. But years ago, there was a gentleman that actually brought a water distributor or a vaporizer machine to the city of Flint. And that machine was able to make like hundreds of gallons of water in one day off the vapors of the air. And guess what happened? Somebody in Flint destroyed that shit. And I can show you guys. I'm going to put it in my reels. I didn't really want to talk about it because I don't want to have like, wherever everybody else go, everybody's going. That's not really my forte. But when I heard about that years ago, I was like, yo, Flint is done. Sabotage. So basically, they threw like shreds of metal inside of the machine in a certain spot. So he knew whoever messed it up was an engineer. And they did that directly to mess up the water source. So I'm throwing that out there because there's many innovative ways that we can actually provide water to our people and to people in communities, but we keep going the conventional way. As well as me being in real estate, I know my next property that I build on, I'm getting me a damn well. Baby, I ain't playing. I'm tired of these bills. Yep, you could get a well built on any property. Yes, you can. So I think it's some things we have to be creative, but something got to go because you can't just depend on Cook County. And if we do have to depend on Cook County, because we have all these senators and big officials, big power heads in Dolton and Thornton, why can't y'all move forward to make a bill to cap how much would be the pass-through taxes that one county can charge another taxes? Another county highlighting that there's no other way to get water. Does that make sense? Because if there's no other way, they're basically capitalizing off of these counties and they could just do anything. So maybe they need to talk to Napoleon and his friends to see can they get a cap. You know what I'm saying? Keith Freeman was Dalton Village Administrator until May 5th. But when was the meeting? Wait, when was that meeting? Let me go back there. What was the meeting for that? Wasn't the meeting just hold on, y'all. Where was it? He said he's okay. I ain't gonna look no more. Okay, wait. I got it. It's still up. Mr. Roberts. You said to May 5th. All right, but this agenda was for May 7th. I better not see Keith face up there, his name. Now, one more bit. Okay, Mr. Roberts, you made my night. You saw how that kind of gave me Tourette's. Like, the hell is his name doing there? Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Y'all made it. Y'all made my night because I ain't with that. What the hell? Grace, now I wasn't sure if they could. It wasn't saying that they couldn't. Chicago is always looking for a way to bring in money for themselves. No, you good. I'm glad you said it. I'm not sure. You know, I always like to just talk about different ways. So we'll have to figure that out together because Chicago is literally taxing the South suburbs out their butt. Okay. And I done talk so much, I think my mouth wide. Or maybe I'm just like listening under the light. With that goes to say, I love you guys. I'm going to be back live on Tuesday with the S. Hopson, with the Officer Carlton and all of our guerrilla warfare. Over the weekend, I'm going to break this up and make each subject together and just keep y'all entertained. And until then, you know what we doing over here, baby.
Guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. So, you guys doing a lot of snitching.
Let my snitching fool you. I love a good jam. And I'm SINGLE again. Outside hanging out the window with my ratchet ass friends. Let's go!
Go, Karen.
Let's go!
Leader, they want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work. Y'all forget I am the leader.